So think about this for a minute. What you're looking at could in fact become the largest company in the world, couldn't it? Why? Well, can you think of any other company who pays you to spend money you're already spending and it costs you nothing to participate? How about referring other people and getting paid on every one of their transactions as well? Now currently, we have over 7 billion people on the planet. Imagine Lyoness getting just a 5% market penetration within the next 5 to 6 years. That's 350 million global members. How many of their transactions would you like to get paid on? Now, what if there was a way for you to get paid on all of them? Yes, you heard that right, and we'll actually show you that in just a moment. But you know, the most exciting part is this. We've already seen the future, and it is amazing. Lyoness is a little over 10 years old, and it's already a household name in Europe. We know it works, and it works in a big way, but it wasn't always so. What you're watching on the screen here is actually 5 of the pioneers, if you will, now presidential team members with Lyoness. Back in June of this year, my wife and I were fortunate enough to be invited back to Austria. We met these gentlemen, and their stories, although coming from different backgrounds, were very similar. They said, yes, in the beginning, Lyoness was tough, and here's why. Their whole presentation was basically money back with every purchase, money back with every purchase. And people would ask them, well, when can we get the card? And they go, oh, we don't have the card yet. And then the next question was, well, where can we use the membership? Let's see, we have the expensive jewelry store that sells Breitling watches. We have the jacuzzi store and the tanning salon, right? So you can get a tan, you can soak in the hot tub, and you can buy a $15,000 watch. Other than that, money back with every purchase. What's the point? The point is these 5 gentlemen obviously did not get excited about what they had. They got excited about what they felt was coming. This is Europe today. Every single one of these 5 gentlemen today are multi-million-dollar earners. It is not uncommon in Europe to walk into a small local business and on the window you'll see they accept Visa, MasterCard, and yes, in fact, the Lyoness Rewards card as well. So let's take a look at North America. Where are we at? Well, my wife and I got started about 2 years ago, and at the time it was very similar to what I just described to you in Europe. You know, we had actually 4 gift cards and online shopping, that was it. Since then, we've certainly brought on board, you know, a few more merchants, and things are starting to be a lot more accepted here in North America, but we haven't even scratched the surface yet. So the question that you really need to ask yourself before I go through the overview of the money with you is, when would you like to get involved with an opportunity like this? When nobody has a cashback card, or when everybody has one? Because this is exactly what North America is bound to look like within the next few short years. So how does this work? What exactly do we get paid for? It's very simple. Here's what we do. We connect members with merchants on a worldwide basis. In order to understand exactly how that works and how we get paid, let me go through with you what we call the Lyoness shopping cycle. If you look at the relationship between us as customers or shopping members, if you will, and our retail store owners, we refer to them as loyalty merchants. That relationship is nothing new, right? As a matter of fact, it goes back to the beginning of time, and there's always been a little bit of friction there. When you and I go shopping, what are we looking for? We want the lowest price, the highest discount. In other words, we want the best deal we can get. The person that owns the store, what do they want? They want higher profits and more loyal customers. Obviously, those two things do not go hand in hand. By inserting Lyoness in the middle, that's where the magic happens. You see, we'll go to these loyalty merchants and we'll negotiate a discount. And it really doesn't matter if it's 4% or 40%, because it varies from store to store, depending on the industry, depending on where they're located, and so on and so forth. But regardless of what Lyoness they have negotiated, the company will always keep just a very small administrative fee. And the rest of the money, they're going to send back to you and I in form of all of these benefits that we're going to be looking at. So what's in it for us? I mean, why would we even want to consider being a member? As I'm sure you're aware already, it's free to join. Doesn't cost you anything, as I mentioned before, right? You get cash back on your own purchases. If you decide to refer other members, you get a friendship bonus, a royalty override on all of their transactions. You even are allowed to refer merchants in your own local town, or as a matter of fact, anywhere in the country that you live in. So, you know, maybe you know the local dry cleaner, hair salon, nail salon, car repair shop, mom and pop restaurant. You introduce them to Lyoness. They decide to get involved. The entire store will be placed into your shopping network, meaning you can benefit from the massive volume that can come as a result of that merchant being part of Lyoness. What's in it for the store owner? Well, imagine you own a small local restaurant, and I come to you and I said, John, if I could show you how to increase your revenues and decrease your expenses, do you think you'd be interested? I think most small business owners at least would want to take a look, right? So how do we do that? Well, once you're set up as a loyalty merchant, then there is no fee ever, no charge, no monthly fees, nothing, except when a transaction takes place. You are advertised for free on the Lyoness website. You're advertised for free on the mobile app. So imagine this. Currently, we have a little over 3 million members worldwide. Whatever percentage of them live in your town or they visit your town, they will actively seek you out to spend money with you rather than with your competitor across the street. Why? Because we get paid to do that. So that can potentially increase your revenues. It can certainly decrease your expenses because you don't have to advertise for them, right? But you know, that's only half the story. Here's the other half. Mr. Restaurant owner, how would you like to get paid on your customers when they do not eat in your restaurant? Well, how does that work? Now imagine I show up for lunch. Lunch is over, the waitress brings me the bill, and she says, by the way, are you aware of our global loyalty rewards program? She tells me a little bit about Lyoness. I sign up for free. Why not? Got nothing to lose. Yeah, you're going to have to give me a little bit of cash back. Big deal. Now I drive down the street, I run my car through the local car wash that's part of Lyoness. You, Mr. Restaurant owner, you get paid. I take my wife on vacation in Europe. We stay at a Hyatt. We rent a car. We go out for dinner. I buy a new suit. We've learned how to shop smart, so we do that through loyalty merchants. You're sitting back in the U.S. running your restaurant. You get paid. This is networking on steroids for the small business community, and that is exactly why this thing is exploding on a global basis right now. So, as you've already seen, we have 10 different benefits, 10 different sources of income, if you will, within Lyoness. They fall into 4 different categories: cashback, friendship bonus, loyalty benefits, and a potential massive career income opportunity. So we're going to go through these here, not in great detail, but I'm going to go through the highlights with you. And, you know, while the cashback and friendship bonus are certainly exciting, the real magic is actually in the loyalty part of Lyoness. So imagine every time you buy groceries, you go out to dinner, you pump gas, you buy clothes, you book travel, anything, and you get a little bit of cash back. But in addition to that, you earn as much as 2, 6, 8, 15, up to 20% or more in loyalty benefits. So every time you go out and you eat at a restaurant that's part of Lyoness, you get a little bit of cash back, and a little bit of money goes into your loyalty account. You pump gas, a little bit of cash back, $1 goes into your loyalty account, or whatever the amount is, right? You buy things for your home, right? A little bit of cash back, money goes into your loyalty account. Every time that loyalty account has accumulated $75 as a result of your own shopping, Lyoness will reward you with a loyalty unit. And trust me, you're going to learn to love these things. They are like gold. Why? Because these loyalty units, ladies and gentlemen, can turn into income-producing entities. And here's what's exciting. There's no limit to how many of them you can get. And the more you learn about Lyoness, the more merchants we bring on in North America, the more self-evident this is going to be, right? Imagine going down getting a haircut and you get Lyoness benefits. Getting an oil change, you get Lyoness benefits. As I said, buying your groceries, booking your airline tickets, hotel rooms, remodeling your home, right? As the more you shop through Lyoness, the more of these little loyalty units you earn. Now, at some point, you may decide, hey, you know, if it works for me, why not refer other people? So what you're looking at on the screen here, the blue units is from your own shopping. The gray units are from people that you have referred. And the more we all continue to shop together, the more your system fills up with these loyalty units. And all of this is ultimately, obviously, based on shopping volume, right, from all of us together. So as I said before, I want to reemphasize that the blue units are from your own shopping. The gray units are from people that you have referred from their shopping. So once your system here has accumulated a total of 70 units, 35 up here, 35 down there, and by the way, this is all tracked by the Lyoness software program, so you really don't have to worry about it. Then this unit will turn into $675 payouts, cash in your bank account. That's on top of your cash back on your own purchases. But you know, look at this little blue unit. What do you think happens when that accumulates 70 units behind it? 35 here, 35 here. Yes, you guessed it. That turns into $675 in payouts. So can this. Here's what's exciting. If I were to extend this image out to the right, there is literally no limit to how many times you can earn $675 cash payouts as a result of your own shopping. And this is actually only the tip of the iceberg. This is only part of the story. You'll hear the rest and learn the rest as you attend some of the Lyoness workshops, but pretty exciting. And believe it or not, that's actually only part of the payout of these loyalty units. The second thing that happens is a $75 unit will translate into 1 career point. As you start building a team, the more career points you and your team generate, the more money you make. So on top of the $675 payout, you're also earning a dollar amount per point as you move through the different ranks within Lyoness. Once you and your team have accumulated a total of 100 career points, or you've generated a total of 100 units amongst all of you, you're now level 1. 200 points, level 2. 500 points, level 3. So as an example, let's say you and your team have generated 500 points in a calendar month. You're a level 3. You're now eligible to earn $2.812 per point on top of what we've already looked at. Plus, you can get a guaranteed monthly volume bonus every time you hit that volume of $750 a month. As you move into higher and higher ranks, you're making more and more money per point. And you're also making significantly larger volume bonuses. Now, without getting into details, like I said, you know, the person that invited you to listen to this, they can fill in the blanks. You can go to listen to some of our live Q&A webinars. We got live workshops all across North America. We got an incredible support system where we can fill in the blanks and get you all the details. But let's just look at the volume bonus. That is actually just one of a total of 10 sources of income within Lyoness. It ranges from $300 a month as a level 2 all the way up to $75,000 per month as a President's team member. A very significant opportunity. Now remember in the introduction I asked you how would you like to potentially get paid on every transaction all over the world? Believe it or not, that actually happens when you qualify for the President's team. So in addition to all the regular bonuses that are part of the Lyoness program, the level 7 and level 8 President's team members, they get a small piece of every transaction taking place within Lyoness all over the world, regardless of whether those transactions happen in their own team or somebody else's team. So when you see the Lyoness tagline, "Together we're strong," that's not just a cute statement. That is totally defining for this magnificent global monetary system. But you know what's really cool? You don't have to take my word for it. Here's our official income disclosure statement. The person that invited you to take a look at this, they can send you a hard copy. Or if you're in the United States, you can go to lyoness.us. You can download it from there. If you're in Canada, you can go to lyoness.ca, and you can get it from there as well. So, in wrapping this up, let's take a look at how you can participate. As I said, there's absolutely no charge for you to come on board with Lyoness and start shopping, getting the benefits from your own shopping, getting benefits from referring other people. Now, some of you might be looking at this a little bit more from a career perspective. So a couple of things I want to point out to you. There are actually 2 different ways you can get these loyalty units. We've covered one of them so far. I'm going to show you the second way. The first one is by shopping now, which is what I just shared with you, and it takes an average of about $1,500 in shopping, depending on which merchant you go to, because they offer different benefits, right? That will generate one loyalty unit. Then you refer other people, you continue to shop, your system fills up just like we looked at with a total of 70 units, 35 and 35. And when that happens, you get a $675 cash payout deposited into your bank account. Now, some of you might be looking at this and you're going like, well, I don't really get it all, but I understand the value of having these loyalty units. Is there a way that I can get them faster rather than having to wait to shop for $1,500? Yes, there is. You're allowed to make what's called a partially paid gift card order of $75, which is very similar to a down payment, basically a down payment on future shopping, right? $75, you get that unit today. Then you refer other people, your system fills up, Lyoness will pay you $675. However, you haven't shopped for $1,500 to create that unit, right? So I had to shop for $1,500 to get my unit. So it's not fair that you can get paid the same amount of money by you just putting in $75, correct? So this $675 is actually paid to you in what we call loyalty credits. I call them Lyoness dollars. It's as good as real money, but you got to spend this within Lyoness. So in the future, the loyalty credits is actually what you'll be spending on your gas, your groceries, your travel, your household items, your kids' activities, and everything else that you can do within Lyoness. As I mentioned before, there are 10 different benefits, 10 different ways we get paid in Lyoness. Listen and listen carefully. 9 of them are deposited as cash directly into your own bank account. One of them is a loyalty credit that you get to spend within the Lyoness Merchant Network on a global scale. Very, very exciting. So let's recap what we've looked at. We talked about a loyalty unit worth $75 that you either earn from shopping or you get it a little faster by making a partial payment. Either way, that unit can convert into one career point, and it has the potential to pay you $675 in total payouts. Believe it or not, you actually have the option to leave your money longer in your loyalty account or make a little bit larger partial payment to get a $225 unit. Why would you want to do that? Because that converts to 3 career points, and it has the potential to create $1,275 in payouts. You can even acquire a $600 unit either through shopping or through a partial payment, which converts to 8 points with a potential of $2,400 in payouts for 1 unit. Now, if it is at all possible for you, I highly recommend that you consider starting as a Lyoness Premium member. This is strictly optional. Why would you want to do that? Because it gives you the gold card rather than the blue card, and it comes with some very significant benefits. Number one, you're allowed to pre-place loyalty units into the program before you refer other people. We'll look at in a moment how that works and why you may want to do that. You have the potential to earn revenue in all 3 categories simultaneously. The $75 category, $225, $600, rather than one at a time. If you know people outside of your own country, you must be a premium member to refer them. You get a free subscription to our quarterly cashback magazine, which is one of the most incredible marketing pieces I've ever seen, and you're eligible to a number of additional benefits, which again, you'll learn about in our workshops. So how can you qualify for premium member? There are basically 2 different ways. The first way is the full value shopping option, where you basically accumulate $30,000 in purchases within 1 year. And you can do that either in what we call incremental purchases, just your monthly expenses, again, your groceries, your clothing, your gasoline, all the regular expenses that you're spending money on. Or maybe you need a high-ticket item. Maybe you need a new car, you need a new kitchen or something like that, right? $30,000 in purchases, you're a premium member. Your second option is you can take what I call the shortcut, which is what I did and a number of the people that I work with, they did. And that is, we didn't want to wait until we'd shopped for $30,000. We wanted to have the premium member benefits immediately. You can get that through the partially paid gift card order option. So you basically make a partially paid order of $3,000. As I said before, it's almost like a 10% down payment, right? In order for this to be compliant in the United States, it must be accompanied by a $600 full value gift card purchase. Now this part is actually really not that big a deal. These are the $600 are gift cards that are sent to you in the mail. And you choose what you want. BP Arco, ExxonMobil, Chevron, American Airlines, Outback Steakhouse, California Pizza Kitchen, CVS Pharmacy, and the list goes on and on and on, right? Sears. All of the gift cards that you saw in the first half of our presentation. You simply choose gift cards for items you're going to be spending money on in the next week or two. I recommend you put an additional $100 into what we call the referral fund or your Lyoness purchase account. Why? Because when you enroll other Lyoness members, it's free for them to join, but keep in mind, as a result of that, there's no sign-up fee, there's no monthly minimum, there's no monthly renewal, there's no annual renewal. So the company really doesn't have a way to recoup the administrative fees required in order to enroll these people, get them set up in the system, so we have to participate in that. When you enroll a new member, they come in for free, but Lyoness, they will charge your account $1.50. So if you don't have a little bit of extra funds in your account, you can't refer anybody. Now, this is just a suggestion. There's no minimum. You can put 10 bucks in if you want. That's up to you. But $3,700 basically sets you up as a premium member with maximum leverage as you start building your Lyoness business. What does that mean? Well, remember I said that you now have the right to pre-place units into the system. Here's how that works. As a premium member with a $3,000 partial payment, that turns into 7 units in Category 1, 3 units in Category 2, and 3 units in Category 3. So what does that mean? Well, remember when we looked at the loyalty program, or we call it the accounting program. As your system filled up from your shopping, other people's shopping, and it accumulated eventually 35 units up here, 35 units down there, all done through shopping volume, what happened? This turned into $675 in payouts, right? Well, guess what? So will the rest of them. In Category 2, it works exactly the same way. As units drop into your system as a result of other people shopping, creating volume, building teams, your units turn into payouts. Same in Category 3. In this case, $2,400 per unit. So I guess the big question is, even if you don't understand the program completely, knowing what you know at this point, how many of these units would you like to have before you start referring other people? Obviously, as many as possible, right? As many as you're allowed or as many as you can afford. Now, I get the fact that some of you might be looking at this and you're going like, man, this looks exciting, but I don't have $3,000 or I don't want to do that much. That's fine. This is the ultimate option as a premium member. Maybe you say, well, I don't want to just start as a free shopper. I do want some units in the system. So here's another option. I'm just giving you a couple of examples. The person that invited you to look at this, they can literally tailor-make a program based on your circumstances. So in this case, as an example, we would have 7 1-on-1. You don't get the premium member benefits, but you do have units in the system, and they can certainly create payouts for you. And in this example, that would translate into $1,700 in partial payments, full value gift cards, and a little bit of referral funds. And last but not least, you may have somebody joining you and they go like, this sounds great, but I'm really tight on cash. So they decide they just want to place 7 units in Category 1 for $850, and that's fine. As long as you refer people that come in and they just shop a little bit, or they make a small partial payment and their units they will drop in here, you're fine. Ultimately, those units are going to help create payouts on yours, right? Where you may have a slight challenge is if you now refer somebody and they say, this looks fantastic, I want to start as a premium member. They're going to place their first 7 units down here, which is great, no problem there, that's what you want, right? But now they're going to place 3 units here and 3 units here. You got no units. If you got no units ahead of theirs, you cannot generate revenue on their shopping volume. Now you have the option to start small. You can upgrade at any time. You can do it in increments, or you can do it in one lump sum. It's entirely up to you. There's no penalty, no time limit. And the person that invited you here, they'll be able to answer your questions and fill in the blanks in regards to this. So in wrapping this up, back to what we talked about in the beginning. It is, in fact, Lyoness' stated goal that by the year 2020, we will have 350 million global members, which would make us the #1 company in the world. But you know, the real goal for our owner and founder, Hubert Friedel, is to have enough of an infrastructure in place all over the world where we have all of these small to medium-sized local merchants in place, so all 350 million of us could realistically scan or swipe our Lyoness cashback card twice a day. So I want you to imagine this for a minute. 4 or 5 years down the road, you build a global shopping network, and somebody in Sao Paulo, Brazil, they get a haircut. Your cash register rings. Somebody in Tokyo, Japan, they get an oil change, and you get paid. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the very real potential that we have with Lyoness. You just happen to be fortunate enough to have found out about this in North America before virtually anybody knows about this. I mean, we only have a little over 100,000 people in all of the U.S. and Canada, compared to tens of millions if we do our job right. I challenge you to go down the street in your local town right now and ask 1,000 people if they've ever heard of Lyoness. I will bet money on 999 and a half of them will say no. Maybe close to that, right? But we're on a mission. That will not be the case in the next 18, 24 months. You have a chance to get in front of that wave. Last but not least, when you look at Lyoness, it almost reminds us of the, I guess, the mid-1950s here in the United States. We did not have credit cards like we do today, right? We had department store cards, but you could only use that one card in that one store. Remember that? Well, I guess I'm dating myself here, right? Montgomery Ward's, Macy's, J.C. Penney's, I think those were some of them, right? This young bank trainee came out with this brilliant idea. He said, what if there was just one card that you could use everywhere? And I believe it was right around 1958, they actually launched the very first credit card. It was called Bank AmeriCard. Today, ladies and gentlemen, Bank AmeriCard is known as Visa. What I've shared with you in this short little while, in my humble opinion, and that's all it is, has the very real potential to be as big to the cashback loyalty industry as Visa became to the credit card industry. Don't take this lightly. Thanks for your attention. Get back to the person who invited you. Get your questions answered. Tune into some of our live VIP webinars where we have open Q&A and we can help shed some light on some of the things that may not be totally clear for you. If you're kind of ready to get started, make sure you plug into some of our training workshops, both online and offline, and we'll help get your Lyoness business off to a fast start.